So when I got to Amherst, I remember feeling so out of place.
I really didn't have a concept for myself like as a Black woman before I came here. I got one like real quick.
There was a Black student union meeting for all of the prospective students, and that made me feel really comfortable because I'm like, okay, there are so many people here that look like me and they're real.
I'm Nichelle Carr, and welcome to Black Women of Amherst College, a storytelling project about what it means to be Black and female at an elite liberal arts institution. I came from a place where I was used to being around a lot of white people, and a friend of mine who also went to Amherst described it really well. I came from a middle-class culture, or even an affluent upper middle-class culture, even though I was very much solidly middle class. Then I came to Amherst, and it's like, oh yes, this is the Merrill Science Building, as in Merrill and Lynch. And I think like one of the Lynches was like a senior when I was a freshman, like last name Lynch.
So when I first got to Amherst, my introduction to the Black experience at Amherst College was basically a story of men. You see Charles Drew House, and you think about Charles Drew, this famous African-American doctor who discovered a way to preserve blood plasma during World War II. And you think that that is kind of the root of the Amherst story, these successful Black men. But in reality, there were always Black women behind these men, Black women educators, who were able to make that pipeline possible in the first place. Anna Julia Cooper, she's known as a famous educator. She has totally become a trailblazer in African-American history, especially African-American intellectual history, so the history of thought and ideas. And she's known as one of the precursors of Black feminist thinking. But most people come across Anna Julia Cooper in their passport. So if you go to page 24, Anna Julia Cooper's quote is there. "The cause of freedom is not the cause of a race or a sect, a party or a class. It is the cause of humankind, the very birthright of humanity." For many African Americans during this era, but particularly for African American women, there weren't that many job opportunities in the segregated world. To get a job as a high school teacher was actually quite important. It was a way to use your educational credentials in a way that was very meaningful. And so for Anna Julia Cooper, being a teacher and a principal of Dunbar was a really special experience in a way that she could impart her knowledge and her dreams on the next generation. Black women educators, they saw it as their duty to send young Black men to schools like Amherst and to send young Black girls to other places.
I graduated in the wonderful class of 1982. Coming to Amherst and recognizing its history and tradition meant that you didn't see very many images of yourself on campus. But I do remember those first couple of weeks. First of all, I arrived on campus for Black freshman orientation, which was wonderful. And there was just a small number of us on campus, but we got a chance to kind of bond and get to know people pretty intensely in those first couple of days. There were a number of women of color and Black women in my class, 12, 15 of us, and we were a very tight-knit group. So we could see each other, and that made a big difference. We were not the first. And so I think sometimes when you're the first, so much is on your shoulders, We didn't carry that burden. Knowing that they had succeeded, that they had graduated, that they had found their way was just, it's kind of like knowing there's a Black Panther out there and that there's a Wakanda out there. It makes a difference to your mental set and your experience of yourself.
I was in a class with especially a Black woman faculty. It was those office hours, like especially just getting to know me, what I want. And most of them were not tenured professors, actually. So I had a couple of Black women faculty or professors that were just there maybe for that 1 year of Amherst, and I didn't see them again.
Them not being tenured is a huge, huge issue. And then not being around to support us as students, to support other students, to show white students that Black people are intellectual leaders, right? And fonts of knowledge and authority figures, right?
We can really find new ways to discover or rediscover these Black women who had an impact, who played a substantial role in crafting the narrative of Amherst and shaping the institution in really unique ways, even if they weren't students themselves. And I think by looking at stories like Anna Geo Cooper's, we create a new history for Black women at Amherst, so they can see themselves before coeducation, so they can see themselves as part of the institution's development.
What are those stories? That's what we're looking to tell in this project, the full story of Black women at Amherst College. And hopefully, in uncovering these stories, we will shed light on the experiences of Black women at similar institutions of higher education.